Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome to version 0.2, episode 2 of 8-Bits. I'm djWHEAT, joined by itmeJP, JP McDaniels. And what a frickin' week it has been. I mean, JP, I was tired as hell coming off of the plane yesterday. I stayed up. I played, The Last of Us, the game that shall not be spoken about during this episode. I'm still so excited to do the show. I feel like I have so much now to say about E3 because all I did was coverage, right? There wasn't like a whole lot of opinion that I was totally giving on what I was seeing. It was about getting the news out there. I'm ready to spit, JP.
Yeah, what an E3 that was, man. That I really felt like I was the 14 or 15-year-old self that experienced E3s back then, because man, there wasn't really bad games that came out of this conference. There was nothing bad that I can really, Microsoft's conference, we'll get into that, but the games look good. Like Titanfall looks fucking incredible. Like
everyone had at least one or two really good game showings. I think that, despite all of the stuff, and we're going to cover it all tonight, but despite everything else, I think we can all say that every single system generated some sort of game that's I'm going to play it.
You'll even hate me for this.
What?
The Vita actually looked like a good system.
Oh, shit. Why would I hate you for it? I'm excited. I love portable gaming. I want something for Vita. Yeah, they got a couple of things, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I mean, JP, overall, it was just exciting. It was almost like, it's like a sequel to a game, right? It was like when I know we don't make a whole lot of StarCraft, but it was like when StarCraft 2 came out. And everyone was excited because it was like a new legacy. It's the same thing because the new consoles come out and the whole game changes. And for me, seeing the games that actually define what will be the future of the next generation, that was just amazing for this show. So.
Yeah, and we'll get to E3, but of course, as all gaming podcasts, we do got to talk about what we've been playing. So I guess we'll just start, for me at least, kind of latest to what I was playing at the beginning of the week. So
lay it on me.
I started playing Final Fantasy 14 today, the new A Realm Reborn thing, and god damn it, I actually enjoyed it.
That's the sound of you getting sucked in, JP.
I know, man.
Dude,
it's
it's
actually good.
I'm going to ask you a really important question about Final Fantasy 14. And
sure.
I mean, a lot of people have probably heard me tell this story before, but it's about Final Fantasy 11. Because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. What did every Final Fantasy fan want? They wanted a frickin' MMO, right? So Final Fantasy 11, I'm there day one, getting there, a bunch of my friends grinding through, even level.
Hold on,
this
is a false statement because there's no way that all of your friends got on the same server day one.
Me and my wife and probably one other person.
Okay,
all of my friends, JP.
I know
you had to call me out. You had to call me out. I'm a mole. I don't have friends. Fine. I met him at the starting point. Okay. Thanks a lot, JP. We're grinding these turtles. Blah blah blah. And this series of bad events happens where these turtles slow us down and they aggro us and we end up dying and as I die by this turtle, I see bloom level down and I immediately was like, fuck this game, uninstall, I'm out, peace, never again, later alligator or turtle, whatever, peace. I can't play a game that levels you down. I probably
put in.
I can't do it.
I probably put in 100 days played of Final Fantasy 11 easy on the easy side. I played the shit out of that game.
Right.
I had a ton of Japanese friends. I had a lot of people that game was just so cool because you could use the auto translator and actually talk to people that have no idea how to speak English when you have no idea how to speak Japanese.
Or that's
in 14. Cool. The NDA was lifted yesterday or maybe the day prior. You just can't post any video or audio, but it's in there. And I immediately saw that and I got real nostalgic. I got really, really excited. And then I turned the corner and saw the goblins that probably killed me 1 billion fucking times in Final Fantasy 11 Wii.
Like, why did I do it?
Yeah, I got really upset. The mobs don't chase you across the zone now, thank God, like they did in Final Fantasy 11, because that was highly annoying.
They would go forever. Huh.
Dude, they would chase you to the end of the zone, and even some mobs through zones. Like, they'd just be like, fuck this zone, well, I'm just going to keep chasing it. It was ridiculous, but it seems like a good game, man. I don't know. I've spent probably 3 or 4 hours in it today. The graphics are fucking incredible. The engine,
that's the big thing, because technically this game has been out, but they sort of were like, it's like the most amazing patch content update ever, right? And
I heard that I think it's the creative director. One of the devs on it is actually an old school Dark Age of Camelot player, which I was a huge fan of back in the day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He in it. And apparently in phase 4, they're going to start, and hopefully I'm not like breaking NDA, but whatever, fuck it. They're introducing PvP eventually. So like, I don't know what that is or what it's actually going to be, but that sounds cool to me that like it's Dark Age, a Dark Age dev, or sorry, a dev that played Dark Age that's going to be into it. So I'll keep on playing it. I think it's open for like another 3 days or something, but it's fun. It seems fun. It's very Japanese, but it's also very westernized. Like the UI
looked very westernized.
Yeah,
actually.
They have like public quests. They're called fates. Like, it just seems good, man. It just seems good. So that's today.
What else?
Yesterday, I marathoned The Last of Us. I played for about 17 hours straight on stream. I don't want to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it.
It's a good game. Probably my game of the year thus far, and probably will continue to be throughout.
Already is for the time I put into it.
Yeah, I mean,
easy, lemon squeeze.
BioShock Infinite was a great game, but the gameplay is nowhere near what The Last of Us is. The whole game is just a giant depression. You said it. I know. I
can't talk about it anymore.
It's so good. It's so good. So go play it. If you're a sub to my channel, twitch.tv/itmeJP, you can watch the entire VOD up. I have it highlighted. If you have 17 hours to kill, then fuck it. I mean, I don't know what else you'd want to watch. Last week, we talked about scrolls and the release of the week.
Yeah. The Mojang game. Kind of a...
Yeah. So we did that show last Friday, and...
you played with TB, I saw.
Yeah, I bought it on the following day, Saturday, and played like my 5th game versus Total Biscuit. Had probably played like 40 or 50 games, got my ass beat. But it's actually a pretty cool game. My only, and this is probably due to inexperience, and I don't play very many trading card games, but fuck, man, sometimes you just get a fucking shitty hand. Like, you just get the worst fucking 5 cards to start off with, and you can't draw for shit.
That's
and it is so fucking infuriating when you just lose because the other guy's drawing better than you. But it's cool. I wish I didn't start out as Order, which is like kind of the human deck. I wish I started as Growth.
You mentioned that to me because it meant you had to kind of grind up to get.
Yeah, you got to like grind out better cards. Growth just kind of starts with pretty good cards. But it's all different play styles for the most part. I mean, they are pretty much balanced for the general portion of the game. I mean, there are some cards that are incredibly overpowered, but they'll definitely get worked out. I think they're going to try to add 2 or 3 more different sets. You're looking at the energy deck right now on screen.
Yeah. I'll put it back up.
But it's a good game. Like, the games last anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. You can't really just jump in, jump out. Unless you have 20 or 40 minutes, but they're pretty lengthy. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. And then I've just been playing more Demon Souls, and I played that on Thursday for about 6 hours. And that, believe it or not, that game's actually starting to get hard. Like, I've started to hit the bosses where it's just like, I just got one shot, and I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, there's a few moments where they just make you feel like there's no way. There's no way.
I got to the man-eaters. For people that are wondering, I got to the man-eaters, or man-eater, in the Tower of something or other. And it's just like, to get there is a giant pain in the ass. To fight him, it's just like you get 2 shot.
Yep.
But I'll keep on
Welcome to Demon Souls, the original.
Yeah.
My list is pretty short because honestly, this week I was at E3, and although I didn't really get to play a whole lot, obviously I watched an awful lot. And so that means last night I came home, had a copy of The Last of Us already, hopped on that, pretty much echo what you've said already. In a couple hours in Game of the Year, I'm in, but I can't wait to keep going. And then the other thing I've been playing, just because I've been on the road, right? So I've been playing portable. First off, Kingdom Rush Frontiers is still the best, but Solstice Arena came out, right, by Zynga. I talked about it last week, just a little bit, and it is it's just a 3 versus 3. They call it a speed MOBA. And JP, I was telling JP before the show, I was like, JP, you have to install it. We have to party up. Because I 1v3 teams. Like, I just shit on people. And so you go in there with any coordination at all, and you will just absolutely, like, trash another team. But it's, I mean, in terms of living up to its name, a speed MOBA, that's exactly what it is. I can, like, bop in, play a 6-minute game. If you're real good, you got a real good team, you can crush a team in 3 minutes. Just all combat all the time. You just pick up little stuff to power up. Like, if you have a tablet, an iOS device, get the game. It's fun as shit.
How much is it?
It's free.
Oh, it's free. So is it? Can you like free to win it? What's purchasable?
It's exactly like the League model. So you purchase like these gems, but you also earn like IP. So you can unlock, and then they have a rotation of free champs or heroes or whatever the hell you want to call them.
Okay. How many heroes are there in the game?
Right now there's 12. So it's
they're all pretty varying in terms of what they do.
Yeah, they're all like, some of them are mixtures of other heroes. There's you know, the shop is literally like a quick buy system, so you can just sit there and hit the recommended items. Like, you just try to play it as fast as you can. So if you just want to hack and slash and kill some people, it's totally awesome.
Huh?
Maybe
I'll look into it. I mean, it is free, so it's not a costly venture for me,
dude.
And if you're having one of my favorite things to do, is download games that everyone else sucks at.
What? You know, but I mean, for those that are looking for, because MOBA attempts on mobile have been made. The Order and Chaos guys from Gameloft, they made one, but literally it took like 45 minutes to play a game, JP. And it was like,
jeez,
my iPad would shut off in the time that it would take to play a game.
So how long do these actually take?
They take, like, a quickest game I played is probably 2.5 minutes. The longest game I played is maybe 12.
And you're like actively buying, like, how many times would you say you purchased an item in that game?
Well, either every time I die, and you're gonna die, and then sometimes you just go back. Like, the map is so small. We're gonna play it, dude. I'm going to stream it.
I'll check it out.
It'll be hilarious.
We'll play it tomorrow. You're streaming tomorrow. So maybe
yeah, absolutely. You guys can hear me rage because I'm just like, there's no, that's the last thing, and then I'll shut up. There's no voice communication. There's pings. Like, you can ping JP, right? But there's no communication. At the end of the game, you can hit a GG button. Like, to BM in this game, you just basically don't hit the GG button. Just don't hit it, and that's a giant fuck you to the other team.
If you spam it, does it like constantly say it or type it or whatever?
No,
because that's like that would be the anti-BM if you just constantly spam GG.
So anyway, I know that people will enjoy the streaming because you just get these fucking idiots that will literally like run straight into 3 towers and just start beating on a guy.
Sure.
And you're like, dude, I mean, come on, you have to have some concept of something here as far as gaming is concerned, but no, apparently not. It's absolutely amazing. It's definitely like Star Strikers-esque in terms of yelling at people, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. So,
all right, I'll check it out.
We'll do it. All right, it's time for our bits, JP. So, what we decided to do, right, is cover an E3, and there's a lot to cover. That's pretty much everything that we're going. We said we were going to do the 5 major press conferences. We would do our best in shows, and then finally, last discussion is obviously Xbox One versus PlayStation 4, which came out of E3 and was certainly a hot topic. Now, JP, I said I didn't want anyone to think that we showed favoritism in the order of the conferences, so you randomized them, right?
Well, what I did is I put them in order that they were shown.
Oh.
So like I didn't completely randomize them.
I see. All right.
I think that shows the least amount of bias because it's like, hey, we're just doing it in the fucking order they were shown. It just so happens that Sony was the fucking final one. So.
Okay. All right.
That's just how things happen. Right?
Well, yeah, that is just how it happened. And I'll just keep all my comments for the end there. Number one, Microsoft kicks it off. And this is kind of their like press conference after the press conference because we already talked about what they delivered to us last time, which was television. And we got games. We got some good games, but what do you want to talk about here? I don't know if we're going to necessarily go through each one or...
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucking games, man. There were a ton of games shown at E3, obviously, and I mean, Microsoft. Keep in mind that when we talk about these conferences, we're going to be talking about the conference itself. Nothing that happens kind of on the outside of whatever people are fucking saying that if you don't have an Xbox or if you don't have an internet connection, just buy a 360. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the conference itself. So. For Microsoft, it was interesting. I didn't think we were going to get a price drop that they did at the very end, and it kind of came in around what I was expecting price-wise. Game-wise, they showed some pretty cool games. They had some cool surprises. I mean, just to start off with, was not expecting a new game from the Sword and Sorcery guys. Probably, I mean, if I think it mobile games or tablet games, that's probably like one of my favorite ones of all time.
It's really cool in terms of
art, really well
music,
done.
It's amazing, yeah.
And so for them to come out and have a new game and below, they just had kind of a small I guess it's a cinematic trailer. It was just kind of different things happening in the game. No gameplay was shown. They had one of the devs actually on a podcast that I was listening to. I think it was the Giant Bombcast, like day 2 or maybe day 3. And he was actually talking about the gameplay, saying it's going to be kind of hardcore in the sense that it's one map dungeons, like one.
It's kind of roguelike, right?
Yeah, roguelike. Yeah, and they said it's going to be very hard. Like you have one life, and if you die, you're dead. And so it's kind of it seems interesting to me. I want to see more gameplay, obviously, and who knows when they'll actually show that. Their design team seems very cool. They always seem to be working on multiple things at once, and I think that helps developers and kind of do things that are fun. And the way that he described it was that they're always doing something where it's at that stage of game development where it's fun, it's going to be a good game, and then they have another game that's kind of in the works that it's in a stage where it fucking sucks and it's not really a game yet.
The artwork is
artwork's awesome. I love the way that game visually looks. I mean, that screen right there where you were showing the mountain was just
the
awesome.
one with the skeletons. Like this is probably one of my favorite.
Yeah. It should be cool. We'll have to see what it is. It looks really, really good. And so that was good to see. That was definitely a surprise from Microsoft.
Well, I mean, speaking of surprises, D4 is definitely like. I mean, the legacy of this series is kind of crazy, and you know, it came out of nowhere. The legacy of that
dev is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I want to bring out. I mean, it's where is it? It's going to take me off. Anyway, it was something that I was just not expecting at all.
Yeah. And again, you know, it honestly looked like it was Keanu Reeves on an airplane. That's what I took away from that trailer. That guy looks like Keanu Reeves. We'll see what it actually is, because Swery's games are always a little bit fucking crazy, and that's why I love him. That's why I love him. I think that's why his fans love his games, and we'll just have to see more. We'll have to really try to figure out what the fuck it is when we actually learn what the fuck it is. Right.
And I can't find that page, but that was certainly a surprise. I mean, I kind of fell asleep during the Forza Motorsports 5 stuff.
You didn't like the Drivatar Wheat?
The Drivatar,
Drivatar, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, where I come from, that's called the fucking ghost car. So nice try trying to rebrand that shit.
That whole
That's like saying, you know what? We've renamed the Hadouken to the blue glowy fireball of death. It's like, no, it's just going to be the Hadouken. It's like, you can't. I'm not going to ever call it the djWHEAT.
I don't like when devs make up terms like that. EA actually did it, and we'll get to that later with Bounce Tech, TK. It's like, God damn it, guys, just stop making up fucking shit. And the question, the running joke, I guess you could say, I was watching and live tweeting the conferences. As soon as I saw djWHEAT, and they were like, it learns from what you do with cloud computing, and if you're aggressive on a turn, it'll be aggressive. And I'm like, well, what if I just turn around and like run at all the cars the opposite direction? Like, is my ghost going to be trolling people online?
I hope that actually happens.
I hope that's actually
really
how it works. But then everyone's going to do it, and then they're going to be like, this is a terrible fucking
deactivate the djWHEAT.
Yeah, yeah.
What about
what?
It
looks good, though. It looks good.
It looks good. It definitely
looks like a Forza game.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure it'll be like a great Forza game.
As they
indifferent.
Yeah.
The Halo also.
So let's talk about that trailer.
Sure.
I was so fucking excited because I was like, it's a new IP.
It's a new
with
IP, man.
Mysterious character and like this giant Xenogears looking thing. And like I see this hand come out. I'm like, wait a minute.
And then all of a sudden.
Wait a minute. Then he reveals himself to be Master Chief, and I was actually upset. I did not fucking care about that trailer the second I saw it was Master Chief Wheat.
We are being dominated.
Yeah. That's how I felt right there, JP.
Yeah. God, I wish it was a new. That would have been like so cool if it was like a westernized RPG with like giant mechs, kind of harkening back to Xenogears or something from the PS1 days, or I don't know. I just was not. I was like, oh yeah, it's a Halo game. Cool. We all know what that's going to be like.
And it wasn't anything other than just that teaser, really.
Yeah, that's all they showed.
I think they had to do. They had to keep their fresh IP fresh. I don't know. So it is what it is. We don't have much more information other than that. Killer Instinct, I think, sort of a surprise, but not really, because you always knew that Rare was holding this card, and that meant that Microsoft Studios was always holding the card.
Right.
And so they bring it to us, JP. As JP's like, fuck Killer Instinct. I'm just walking out of here, man. I'm like having nothing.
I'm so mad that Rare's not the developer of that shit.
I know. Right? So they come out with like this bizarre model, which I think is really interesting. And it basically says, okay, look, we're going to give you Jago, one of the iconic characters from the game. And then everything else is going to be download, DLC.
Yeah. And
so
did you play it? Did you play it at all?
No.
Okay.
I only watched it being played. And I mean, JP, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I mean, Killer Instinct, it's cool. Another fighting game, word, I'm in. Like, that's cool. But the whole concept of the DLC stuff, I think, is a little
kind of weird.
And also, I just don't think it looks like they could put it on the 360.
Yeah,
like, like there was
the characters look too big. I think almost like I don't.
No, that's very Killer Instinct, but
yeah,
it just
I guess that's
didn't
true.
look. It didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge. I played Killer Instinct in the arcades, and then I played Killer Instinct Gold on the 64. It was actually the first game I got Nintendo 64 on the first Christmas that it was released. I think it came out in like November or something like that. And Mario 64 was actually sold out everywhere you went. So the only game that my parents could get was Killer Instinct Gold. So I had that, and it was a great game. And then to see this, like. I don't care because Double Helix is not making it. Like, I'll give it a try, but for it to be free to play and like,
I think it's going to be.
There's so many just like steps of deflation for it. It's like Killer Instinct, awesome, that looks great. Not made by Rare,
All the fighting game guys though were all
said it was good.
They said it was good, and let's be honest, man. Like KI was good. It was popular back in the day. It didn't have the most intuitive combat system in the world.
Oh, it was batshit insane. That's why I loved it.
It was pretty. I mean, yeah, and it was gimmicky, right? So
yeah,
I think they're bringing it back down to be like, keep the sort of spirit of the game, but then also make it, enter it into the now status quo fighting game, selection. I don't know.
We'll see. They didn't announce any new characters for it, right?
No, they announced
cast of
they announced that Glacius would be at Evo, so they're going to be at Evo, which shows that they're going that way.
That's cool.
But anyway,
I know that a lot of the fighting game. I know that a lot of the fighting game guys had it on. I think they were actually live streaming it. I think at like Cross Counter, Gutex was able to play it on Cross Counter or something.
All the guys, Jay Wong, Flo was there.
It looks cool.
Yeah. So
it looks interesting. It looks interesting.
And then
the trash talk by on the stage was really awkward. That was
really weird. All the stage stuff, pretty weird. That came from Microsoft and Ubisoft. Won't lie.
I love the Ubisoft stuff, but let's continue on.
Most worthless reveal of E3 goes to the Minecraft Xbox One edition.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that, by itself, I think that's kind of like, who cares? The reason why I think it becomes amazing is because Twitch integration for the Xbox One was also announced. So now I know that there are some people that have created some crazy shit in the Xbox Minecraft. And now they will actually get to share that with the world, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm also just sitting there going like, what? Really?
It was weird. They had like...
I love Minecraft. It's great, but it's like...
It was interesting, too, how they brought, they started off and they're like, guys, indie games. Microsoft is going to support them. We love indie games here. And now here's a trailer for the most successful, biggest indie game of all time that's not really considered an indie game anymore, Minecraft. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really show me that you're supporting... That just shows that you're supporting Minecraft, which is already on Xbox 360. So I don't know. It's cool. I still haven't played Minecraft yet at all. Maybe the Xbox One version is my next-gen experience, the same game that's been out for a very long time that I'd probably rather play on the PC, but I guess it was cool.
I'm looking at this thing that says, Minecraft Xbox One is a brand new experience as Microsoft Spencer. When in actuality, it's just the same experience that you can get on a PC. I think, and I tell you what, I would have so much more respect for these guys if they would just flat out be like, yo, we're adding shit to make it more like the PC experience. I'd be like, hey, fucking good on you, man. Like, that's cool, the way you're going that way anyway. I don't know why you're trying to hide that shit, but a brand new experience means that, you'll be able to have more like multiplayer options and party up. Yeah, so. Nice try, guys.
That was
good.
I don't know. I don't. There were a lot of things in this. There were just a lot of things in this conference where I was like, "That's kind of weird." But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. One thing that I think was really cool, and the next game we'll be talking about is Project Spark. In terms of games that were shown that have me genuinely excited, it's definitely one Project Spark. Just the idea that it's kind of taking what Little Big Planet tried to do and making it in a fully realized 3D world, and just seeing what people can do with that just looks fucking cool. The fact that as you're moving throughout this world that you created, you can just have terrain follow your character around and ride that's really cool. I like the fact that people can sit on a tablet, and this was one of two only things that I can think of with a tablet that were shown at E3, which actually have me excited. And it was used in almost every game. They were trying to find some gimmick for it,
right? Because
he could just sit there and fuck with the world, fuck with the terrain on a tablet, and it would actually update apparently in real time
like
with
this.
what you're showing in game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Like
you know, at first, JP, I just give my opinion on this. At first, I was literally kind of like the Sony fanboy in me was just like, all right, so whatever, it's a Little Big Planet, been there, done that. But then as I was like, watch what they do, I'm like, actually, this is fucking brilliant because what they did is they just let Little Big Planet, the guys over there, just kind of do their thing, and I think that they took this spin on it, and then came up with a really, really cool idea. And frankly, I would probably play something like this a little bit more than Little Big Planet, which is something I kind of enjoy with, you know, mini weed or something.
Sure.
But I'm not cracking a beer and going, relax with some Little Big Planet. How about that?
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Well, Little Big Planet, to me, the draw for Little Big Planet was downloading the crazy levels.
Right. And just playing
taking
other
about 30
people's-
minutes and doing that and then
Right.
sending
And
it
then
back to GameFly.
And then it's kind of done.
Because I never purchased that game, and kind of glad I didn't because I got bored with it pretty quickly.
This is sweet as hell. This guy's riding out, and like I would be doing that.
Yeah,
all
that looks
day.
awesome, right?
Yeah.
And especially like that's his friend right down below him. Like this is multiplayer. This is fucking that's awesome. And he
That's
just like
badass.
calls down this crazy bolt and
creates
like,
a huge
yeah,
lava
creates a
thing
giant
in the middle
lava
of the
moat.
It's really
Like
cool.
that's
well,
really
they
cool.
took a smart idea, right? Like the whole game is about creating these environments, so why not destroy them as it's sort of being played out as well?
Yeah,
So.
and it will be on the PC. Apparently, it's going to be Windows 8 exclusive.
Hey, let's just be real here.
Yeah,
Oh, you think that it'll only play on Windows 8?
that's. I mean, they say available for Windows 8.
These
so
these cocksuckers are gonna make me build a fucking separate machine
just for Windows 8.
just
Yeah,
for Windows 8, and I hate
know.
them for it, and I think
I
it's
know.
horseshit.
I agree. I could not agree more with you. And to go back on the world development, I was watching. I probably watched over like 30 hours of just different videos on all the different games this week. One of the gameplay demos was showing how you can do like broad strokes and just do like
Yeah.
just like do an entire level, right? Just like, fucking, I want this to be an ice level.
Yeah.
Just automatically make this for me.
Generate
And
it.
Granted, they were kind of douchebags about it because they had this giant fucking smart glass 40-inch display screen, and they were just like drawing on them like, well, I'm not going to fucking have one of those ever in the history of ever.
Be like, I'm
But
the
then-
world's biggest spark enthusiast, and I
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
then
then they were just like, or you can do this. And it's like, they're like searching through a little radio menu of, let's put this rock there. Let's put this one singular tree right there. And that's cool. Like, I can, that to me is kind of like Minecraft for consoles. Like the amount of stuff that people can make in that is really limitless. And it looks great. Like graphics wise, it looked awesome. I'm just, it looks like a fun game. Like it just looks like to be fun. And that's cool. It's good to see something like that.
With the multiplayer, like that game would not have sold me if it hadn't had sort of that multiplayer draw to it, because that's
Right.
you know, really important. And one thing that Little Big Planet did pretty well, so definitely on my radar. This one, I'm curious to what you think about it. You know, it looks good. I love these guys' games.
Yeah.
I guess it just didn't. You know. It's this game still. It makes me go like, yeah, not bad, but it hasn't wowed me yet.
It hasn't.
And that is that's Quantum Break.
And it's probably because we haven't actually seen what the fuck it actually is.
And that's probably right.
Someone mentioned that that it's going to be a modern military shooter that's going to like tie in with the TV show, so it sounds kind of like an FMV style deal, which has me excited for kind of the wrong reasons, because it's just going to be kind of comedic in that.
I don't know what that means exactly.
I don't either.
Like what the fuck does
to be honest, it seems like Remedy, the people, the devs of the game, like probably most famous for Alan Wake, are finally making a game that they have been wanting to make for a long time. That they have all those tools available to them, and now they can actually make it. We just don't know what the fuck it's going to be.
We have no idea.
The graphics look cool. The story, I think, has something to do with time. And like, there's three characters: the woman and the guy that you're going to see here in this trailer, and then the bad guy. All have like something to they were like near this experiment or something that I don't know. They basically have time travel powers is what I was hearing. And I don't know what that means.
It's unstable and they use it. Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. It looks cool.
All right.
It looks badass. I think I'll be playing it
more
on PC even if I have to install a Windows 8 machine.
Yeah.
So
And it look what it actually was is it looks like it was a demo made for E3 to get people excited about something that'll probably never really show up in the game. Like it was just like this big centerpiece thing where it's like we've got cool looking graphics and this crazy shit here, and we'll talk about more when we have actually figured out what more is.
So what about Rise, Son of Rome? Which
you
is,
mean the QuickTime event for Xbox One?
Yes, sure, that too, or whatever you want to call it. I again, like, you look at it, well, looks pretty solid, looks pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm just like getting off my seat going, my God, I have to play Rise. You know, it's just...
I don't think it looks good at all. I mean, graphically it looks all right, but we didn't actually see more than 10 seconds of gameplay that didn't have a QuickTime event on the screen.
Well, I mean, right, this is the first generation of content.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me, JP, that Microsoft goes, we're going to make a really pretty game that honestly, it's not going to really have that deep a gameplay, but it's going to show off the power of our system. I think Rise is it, because Rise was the staple of the show.
And this was something that was shown 2 years ago for use with Kinect. I think it was one of their first Kinect demos that they showed on stage.
Oh, really?
And so it kind of disappeared. We never really heard anything about it. So I guess they just bumped it up to Xbox One. To me, it just looked like a giant tech demo with QuickTime events in it. Like, if they were to say that it was not an actual game and it was purely to show off what the Xbox One can do graphically, I'd probably say, like, yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, I don't want this to be a real game. I don't want money to be spent making this game if it's going to be purely QuickTime events.
But The Rock almost hit him.
I know. And that was cool looking, right? But he probably hit A at the right time on screen to actually do that in the real game.
It did. Definitely one of those that's like, yeah, looks good, not hype.
Yeah. Again, that was probably just a trailer or a demo that was made purely for...
Oh no! Yeah, it's a demo. It's a demo.
Yeah.
We saw it live in the booth, but
oh, okay, the same demo, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
What did he ever fail one of the QuickTime events? Like, what happens if he?
I never saw.
Okay.
I never saw.
I just want to know what happens with it. Yeah, the next game.
Yeah,
I never saw anything else all show long about it.
Yeah.
It was just that one trailer.
And it was almost like, God, where the hell did it? It was weird, JP, because it was, I mean, the Insomniac thing is obviously big, right?
Sure, yeah. But heavily PlayStation dominant dev team that Resistance, blah, blah, blah. Now they're on Xbox, right? So that's kind of interesting.
But beyond that, they literally didn't have anything. Like, I'm trying to find the trailer.
I never saw like a gameplay reveal or, and I'm getting kind of not tired, but like bored of the way it looks. It was like this weird, like blue and orange color clash that we've kind of seen a lot of in recent history. And the guns look cool. I'm sure it's going to be like online focused. It just looks weird. They didn't actually show what it was, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of showed the style. I guess try to keep people guessing. You're gonna ride table trays and
maybe it's just gonna be like a parkour shooter that's online that like has crazy fucking guns. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We don't really know. Like, they just didn't show much of it, except that the way that the art looks. And
those guys make good games though. So
they do.
It's going to be really interesting to see what the final product actually looks like.
Yeah.
Microsoft got something you were super excited about, JP.
Yeah, I was wondering where this would show up, and they ended up. They showed Dark Souls 2 in a very limited way. They had a gameplay trailer released after the fact, after the conference, and it looks like Dark Souls. It looks hard. It looks challenging. Couldn't really decipher too much from the gameplay. There was one point where he was using two weapons, and it looks like two-handed or dual wielding combat is going to have more of a. You're actually going to be able to do that now in the new one, so that's good. There was so on the show floor. Did you get a chance to go over and see it or see it played?
No.
So on the show floor, apparently, the boss that they were showing off was this giant knight that had a big ass shield, and he would do like a sweeping attack and then like shoot lightning or something like that. And one of the reports I saw was that no one had actually killed him yet on the show floor.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
This sounded pretty normal.
That's so awesome.
But the thing is, in the final game, they teased that the shield will be a mirror, and it's actually going to be an invade point for other players to invade you as you're fighting the boss.
Gotta love it.
That's like fucking. That's the dickest thing I could think.
Man, you know what? Slowly but surely, these guys are creating this like. I think a sleeper cell group of raging people who just complete the game, and then like they're gonna send out some code or broadcast that's gonna activate all the people who have ever played these games and turn them into like super soldiers. That I don't know. I don't know exactly. I think
that sounds like the hardest thing in the fucking world, to have a live player fucking with you as you're fighting a boss.
Yeah, you know, because it's like, hey guys, new game. How do we fuck these guys over even more? Boom! Here you go. I love it.
And graphically, the engine looks good. I think the dev from software stated that they're developing for the PC first. I think. Hopefully, I don't get that wrong. Check on that before you take what I'm saying.
Well, it is for the new gen stuff, right?
No. This is a 360 release.
Oh, okay, it is.
360 PS3 release, as far as I remember. Yeah, I don't think it's next gen. It looks great for current gen. And as long as it runs smoothly and it doesn't have all the performance issues that Dark Souls had, seems fun. I'm excited for it. I will probably go on media blackout for it now because I don't want to know any of the surprises that's going to happen within the game. I'd rather just experience that shit. So
absolutely.
Looks cool.
And probably to round out Microsoft press conference, the game that was talked about the most, I mean, people were definitely buzzing about this everywhere where I was going, JP. And that is that's Titanfall.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing that, I mean, aside from graphically being really fantastic looking, the one thing that I really think is going to be awesome about this game is that if the if the movement stays intact across the board in multiplayer, I think it's suddenly going to make competitive multiplayer much to me, I think much more difficult, but I would appreciate it much more. And the reason why is because I don't know if you watch some of the movement that you're able to do just as like a ground soldier.
The parkour and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's amazing, and I think that can really change. I mean, it's something that like Call of Duty doesn't have right now, right? You sprint around, maybe you're jumping occasionally, throning here and there. Right, but when suddenly I can, you know, get into a position really fast and flank it, you know, I think that really changed everything. It's like suddenly like having strafe jumping in Quake or wall jumping in Unreal Tournament. So it's might be really weird to say, but that was the first thing that came to my head is like, if this could be a competitive title on a console, like that would be one of the things that would be really interesting to me about it.
Yeah, there's a 1080p 60 FPS direct gameplay feed of this, and you should definitely watch it with 60 FPS. It looks miles better than anything that was shown for it in the first place. But the parkour element, I think what you're kind of getting at is obviously you have strong Quake roots, and movement in Quake is probably one of the main things that define that game. In the advent of like trick jumping, which turned into an entire scene for the game. Like, I don't know if it'll actually go that deep, but it looks awesome. Like, one of the moments I remember with the parkour is that this guy like jumps off a building, hits his jetpack for a second, like hits a wall, runs off that, jumps across, does another jetpack thing, and then gets off
their jetpack thing and things.
And then hits another wall, and then like clears this giant like gap between these two buildings,
Yeah.
and that's cool. They were saying that all of the infantry have like cloak, so that it helps kind of even out the mech versus infantry gameplay. My biggest thing that I enjoyed about it was how fluid the mechs looked, and how
Right.
like when you run at one of them, like how it just like picks you up or like helps. Like it's not like when you get into a vehicle in like Battlefield, for example, you just like immediately go black screen and then you're in the vehicle, right? I just love how the mechs are like animated to like
Kinda
pick you up in
climb
them, or
right,
you can
right.
like you can go between
Pop
their
out
legs.
of
And they'll
'em.
like they'll like swing you up, or you can like eject off of one and land on another one. I love these little like black frames, so it looks like they're actual screens inside of the mech,
Yeah.
and then it's just
And then
showing
he
you kind
ate-
of what's on the outside.
Well,
Yeah.
it didn't really eat them, but yeah, pull them out, and
It looks
it's really
it just
badass.
looks
Like
good.
it
Yeah,
looks cool.
everything's well done, and it looks like there's actual skill because of the parkour, and also because like all the shots where you get like shot up in the air, you can like take a rail gun out and shoot them that way. Like it looks like it's gonna be a good game. I didn't see any actual like real gameplay of it.
I didn't
myself,
either. It
so.
could have totally been a fabricated demo, like from start to finish. And
Yeah.
again, I'll just echo my statement as I said with some of the other games. I hope that I can play it on PC.
I was watching the dev team. They were talking on, I forgot where it was, but they were saying like one of the things that they're struggling with right now, or that players are struggling with when they go to the game, is he gave the example of a ladder, or sorry, a stairway leading up to this person that you were trying to get to up top, right? And in their mind, they're like, well, I'm just going to walk up the ladder and go this long way. But it's like, why aren't you jetpacking up there, parkouring off that wall, and getting up there in a second? So you're going to have to like retrain your brain for all of these Call of Duty
Exactly.
fanatics, and that's cool.
That's cool.
Like, I'm glad that is starting to happen. You know,
All right, well,
games are starting to happen like that.
that is pretty much. I mean, other than Witcher 3, they're which is
Play
hilarious.
that on PC. Play it on PC.
Well, it's funny too because the Xbox One doesn't work in Poland,
Oh, right.
which is where all the guys are from.
Did you see the devs comment on that? By the way,
What would they say?
they were just like, they couldn't be too harsh on it, but they were just like, well, that would be a really terrible thing for Polish fans of our game. And I'm sure they read that and they were just like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. All right, can we get through EA before our break? I think we can.
Yeah, I think EA. Well, do you want to give Microsoft a rating? Do you want to do a rating for each conference?
Does this include like everything that
It includes the price drop. I mean, that was or the price announcement, not drop for sure.
I give Microsoft a C?
Yeah, I think it's C territory. I don't think you can give them a B. I don't know if it's. I think C plus, C minus is probably where you have to make the personal decision, but I don't think you can do much for that. Like, the games look cool. Most of the games, the only really exclusive that looks great is Titanfall. The price announcement is a little steep, especially with what all they said.
Yeah.
And it was an all right conference. C is not bad by any means. I'm not saying that it was a bad conference with that score. It was average.
I
about what
agree. I agree. All right, well, let's at least start with EA. I don't know if we're going to be able to get all the way through.
Sure.
And maybe, honestly, I should just go through the stuff that I literally do not need to spend any more than 5 seconds on. For example, Need for Speed Rivals, sweet.
Looks awesome.
Looks awesome. We'll never play it.
You're never going to play it, really?
Fuck no.
You're not a fan?
I don't like driving games, man.
That's like a.
You know what? Also, NBA Live 14, NHL 14, Madden NFL 25, FIFA 14. I'm not going to play any of them.
Yeah, I'm not either. But
congratulations.
Bounce Tech.
The bounce tech can bounce its way
I don't
right
even
the
know what
fuck
the
back
fuck
to
bounce
I
tech.
don't give a fucksville because
I'm right there with you, man.
I
hate
really
it.
don't. Let's
I've
talk
never
about the
enjoyed sports
games that I feel like the people, and guys, I'm sorry. Go listen to I'm sure it's a very popular video game podcast and or show that focuses exclusively on sports games. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4
Looks fantastic.
looks fucking amazing, man.
I'm
Not only
glad-
that, but they had like 40,000 people just watching people play it all weekend. Like, that's a hell of a way to market the game. They got the best extension.
Corey and Golden Boy were doing the casting of that, and they were well received. That was really cool to see. It looks awesome.
Why did you send me that? What is this one GIF that you have given me? You gave me a GIF.
Click on it. Click on it. It's the best part of the whole fucking Battlefield.
I clicked on it, but
it's the fucking whole. It's the best part of the Battlefield demo. It's when the building falls at the very end. That's all I wanted you to show. It looks great. It's not the highest quality, but whatever.
But it's like a goddamn building's falling.
Well, it was awesome. Like, they were in that building 5 seconds before it happened.
Yeah.
And this is a multiplayer match. That's the other cool part.
Right. It's
like, that
totally
looks
insane.
fucking amazing to see that building fall.
It really does.
Yeah, and they came up with another term, like, fucking the levolution. Like, God, stop making up fucking words. I don't enjoy that, but I'm glad that they're like trying to look at other ways to do a multiplayer match, you know? Like, if that's how the multiplayer maps in one way could evolve or change, then that's cool. I mean, I won't get tired of seeing that fall.
I do want to echo what a few guys in chat are saying, is that, hey, you know what else is fucking like lame about this game, even though it's awesome?
What's
is
that?
that game not out, obviously still a ways, but DLC. Map packs, like, you know, we're going to hook it up.
That's kind of been like Battlefield's.
It's all of them. It's all of them. But it's just like, you know what? We already know that you're going to fuck us in the ass.
Yeah.
Can you at least, like, just hold our hand for a little while and, like, you know, act like it's going to be all good, and then later on, I'm not going to choose your game over another one because, well, fuck. They announced that DLC already. I better jump on. I don't understand why, other than, I mean, marketing altogether. But Battlefield 4 looks amazing. It was definitely the buzz of the show. Like I said, the live stream was hopping, and they did a great job over there. So I look forward to seeing what they could do with that.
Yeah. New Dragon Age, just saw a trailer. I'm glad that they got that announced. Star Wars Battlefront was definitely probably the biggest hype to come out of this, I would think.
Hell yeah.
That looks like it was only a 7-second trailer or something. Like,
look at that building falling, right? Like, can you imagine when an AT-AT is falling and like the destructive capability? The thought of that is fucking awesome.
It looks really good. It looks
in the
really
hands of DICE, I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited,
cool.
and it was a total teaser. It was.
Oh, it was 100%.
Yeah.
And everyone knew exactly what it was when you saw the A-wing. I think that was an A-wing, right? Jesus Christ, I'm like forgetting right now. That you're like, oh, this is Star Wars Battlefront. That's awesome. Mirror's Edge 2 was teased. They didn't show any gameplay. It was purely CG. Looks to be a prequel. You could see that in the trailer. She was getting tattoos and whatnot. She already had those in the first game, so we'll see what that is. I think I remember reading that
she's hotter, by the way.
She's hotter. Okay.
She looks.
I think I remember hearing that it was going to be open world, so it's a little bit different than the first one, which is very linear and structured.
White
and very
everywhere.
White, so that looks cool. I actually am pretty excited for Need for Speed Rivals. I think that looks great. I love those games. They're just fun. Like, I love racing games that have a strong sense of speed.
They promote bad driving.
I'm fine with that. I don't give a fuck. If a cop comes up to me and asks me if I want to race in my fucking 86 Jeep, I'm going to be like, let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
I don't give two shits.
And last but not least, dude, to me, this game was the game that showed me what, like, holy shit, the next generation is really going to be fucking amazing. And that's Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Like,
really?
Oh my God, did you, like, watch the game on Xbox One? Like, did you just, like, watch? It looks like a real-time Pixar movie. It looks freaking amazing. Like, is it going to be, you know, a game that I'm going to sit down with my buddies? No, probably not. Like, it's going to, I mean, it'll be a cool game. I like the Horde, you know, type style of gameplay, but it just looks freaking awesome, JP. Really, really awesome.
I love that they're just the EA is just like, hey, Modern Warfare, go fuck yourself. Like, we're making complete parody of your entire franchise.
Right. And they had fun with it,
like
man.
Yeah.
They had fun.
The guy that introduced all that was a little bit energetic when he introduced Peggle 2 with the whole like jumping on stage thing. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Yeah.
That's a little funny. That was probably, I think, the biggest gift to come out of E3 that I can remember. But Garden Warfare looks fun. They didn't say how much it was or anything like that, right?
Well, it's Xbox Live Arcade, so it will be the best looking Xbox Live Arcade game for years.
So I imagine it'll probably be like a $20 game or something like that.
Probably.
And I'd buy that for $20 to screw around with friends. I mean, it's tower defense where you can.
It does look like fun.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, it is like that kind of game. I think just the look of it will sell. The fact that it's an Xbox One exclusive is good for them. So.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, EA's conference, aside from Battlefield 4, I thought was a little. I'm not sure if boring is the right word. Maybe mundane is a little bit better of a word, but.
EA is like almost never going to get an A from me, JP. Like, I will be them all day because of Star Wars and Battlefield 4. But, like, honestly, because of all the sports stuff, it's just like that's not the game that EA makes that I'm interested in. Yeah. And you know, whether or not fucking NBA Live 15 comes out, I don't care about. You're never going to get that sale from me. So I'd throw a B down there for EA.
Yeah. I'd probably give maybe like C+. I'd go into the C territory. And that's just because
There you go. DICE gets an A. EA gets a C. I love it.
That's actually smart.
RE123. I'm down with that. And PopCap, they're up there too, man.
PopCap's up there too. Yeah, it's just sports games I've never been a fan of. I don't understand sports games. I don't understand how each year they can still have a new iteration of the game and like people still buy them and it's like one of the best selling franchises.
I understand? I understood like baseball stars, man. Like I level up my fucking
parody a little bit.
Yeah, where I'm like it's an arcadey version of it. You know, I don't know. A football.
Do you remember
game
the NES game where you could play baseball with the robots and you could like spec out
that was made by the same people as like Baseball Stars 2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where the real shit is right there.
Okay. Well, I think it's break time.
It is.
Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo, our best in show, and then the last bit. So
exactly. So guys, when we return, more from 8-Bits. Don't go away. We'll be right back.